Digital age, we've become comfortable sharing our lives and our families online. But for former radio host Heidi Anderson, she knew she had to take a step back when a stranger approached her son after recognising him at a train station.
And she's not alone. A new survey from Tiny Beans has revealed 75% of parents are choosing not to post their children online due to privacy reasons. So to share her story, Heidi joins us now in the studio. Good morning to you,
How are you, Heidi?
Hello, I'm good. A little bit nervous talking about my son.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was back at Christmas time. He was out at the train station with his grandma. And I have a bit of a profile in Perth, you know, from my breakfast radio days. And so being recognised was not uncommon with me, but it was the first time, he's 5 years old, that he was recognised without me. And so when my mother-in-law mentioned this to me afterwards, that someone said hello to him and that they knew me and him through social media, it was the first time I felt shame and felt like I wasn't protecting my son. So I never told her that, so she's probably learning this morning.
I'm glad she's watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Big fan. Yeah.
But what were the circumstances around it? Because I would imagine a complete stranger is the worrying aspect of that
Yeah.
than anything else.
Yeah, well, I think for me, like I said, having a profile, I've shared him online. We had a podcast called First Time Parents, being breakfast radio. We kind of shared our lives. So for me, I never really questioned it. And I know that might sound really naive, but it wasn't until that moment that I heard that it was a man and he just said hello. And I just
knew his name?
Yeah, knew his name. And then also, you know, said they knew him from social media.
Isn't it horrible that you have to change your life, you feel you need to change your life based on stranger danger?
Yeah.
Or a small element of society that makes you uncomfortable?
Yeah, well, so for me, like I said, I'd shared so much of him. And then in that moment, I thought to myself, well, yeah, am I protecting him? What is it? And then I started following this lady called Christy McVie, who's a former police detective. She's also known on TikTok as TikTok Cop. And all the stuff that she was sharing, I was always worried about what quite possibly could happen in, you know, the homes around family and friends with kids and child protection. But I never really went to think about the online space. And then watching her and the things that she talks about, that was the first time that I went, oh, okay.
So what was your specific concern, and then how did that change how you relate on socials now?
I think I just couldn't protect him.
Yeah.
In that moment, I couldn't protect my son if something was to happen to him. And as he's getting older, what if he was walking home from school in 2 or 3 years' time if I do continue to show his face on social media and someone pulls him up in the street and says, you're coming home with me.
Yes.
I know your mum, I know your name, you know?
So how do you run things now? And it's horses for courses, everyone's going to make their own decisions, but what's the decision you've made?
I think for me it's about empowering myself and knowing, you know, not what's right or wrong, but like releasing some of that shame, and then also just, where's Carl going?
Don't worry about that. Let's just pretend that's not happening. The magic of television, Heidi.
This is a magical moment in television.
Here he is.
I was sneaking out because I've got to go in the other studio.
I was like, what did I
But
say,
no one
Carl?
told you. No one told you.
No.
Anyway,
We
so...
thought
you knew.
she's breakfast radio. She'll know what's happening.
you
I'm
go.
like, where's he going?
Anyway.
Carl's going to set up for the next segment.
Oh, great. Good
I
luck
really
with
was
that, Carl.
enthralled. I was
And you can
enthralled.
keep
Thank
talking
you.
to me, and we'll finish
Thanks,
this
Jane.
one, and then we'll throw to Carl, and it'll be like magic. He's just appeared
The
somewhere
power of
else.
TV. I love that. What a moment.
So what do you do now?
So what I do now is I choose to not show his face. I sometimes put an emoji on his face, and you'll see, I think there's a whole movement of that. However, when I spoke to Christy, TikTok Cop, she was like, even putting the emoji on the face. But I think for me, it's not about shaming parents. It's not about, you know, saying you shouldn't show your face on social media with your children. For me, it's like asking myself, well, why am I doing this? Was it for the likes? Maybe. Was it to get people to listen to our podcast? Probably.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't need to have a digital footprint at his age. And yes, he's got one now. I haven't archived all the photos yet, but he's a cute, funny kid, and so I wanted to
change.
Yeah, I wanted to share him with the world.
Yeah.
So you know, I think it's just about empowering yourself, educating yourself, following people like Christy.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, what happens in your house and the way that you want to run your household is up to you.
Yep.
So it's not about shaming. And like I said, I might feel like a little bit naive, but I think it's just about having this conversation, and it's a conversation worth having.
And everyone needs to make the decision for themselves. Heidi, thank you so much for your time.